You enter the world clinging into your mother's chest in the misty mountains of Central Africa, born into what seems like a paradise of green vegetation and family warmth. Your mom cradles you close, and for the first few months, life is honestly pretty good. You've got milk, warmth, and protection. What more could a baby gorilla ask for? But don't get too comfortable, because this cozy beginning is about to get complicated fast. At the moment, you're small, maybe 4 pounds, and completely helpless. Your eyes barely focus and your limbs are wobbly, but you can grip. That's your one skill, and you use it to hold on to your mom's fur like your life depends on it, because honestly, it does. The mountain forests are beautiful, sure, but they're also cold, damp, and filled with things that would love to make a meal out of a defenseless infant like you. Leopards are out there somewhere, watching, waiting. Your troop is led by a massive silverback. Your father, probably, though, let's be real, he's not exactly dad of the year. He tolerates you mostly because your mom would throw a fit if he didn't. The other females in the group coo over you a bit, and the older juveniles are curious, poking at you when your mom isn't looking. One of them pulls your arm a little too hard and you screech. Your mom immediately turns and gives them a look that says, "Try that again and see what happens." Okay, so maybe having a protective mom isn't so bad after all. The first few months pass in a blur of milk, naps, and clinging to mom. You start to develop some personality, opening your eyes wider, looking around with actual curiosity. The world is suddenly more than just warmth and darkness. It's trees and leaves and other gorillas. And wow, there's a lot going on here. By the time you're about 4 months old, something shifts. You start to explore. Not far, just a few feet from mom at first. The grass feels weird under your tiny hands and you're not quite sure what to do with it. So you put it in your mouth. Obviously, that's your solution to everything at this age. If you can reach it, you taste it. Leaves, bark, bugs. That one time you grabbed what you thought was a stick but turned out to be something's tail, yeah, you learned that lesson quick. As you approach your first birthday, you're getting more independent. You can walk now. Well, sort of. It's more like a drunken wobble, but you're mobile and that's what counts. You've started eating solid foods, which is great because mom's getting pretty tired of nursing you all the time. The troop moves slowly through the forest, foraging for food, and you toddle along trying to keep up. It's exhausting, honestly. Why does everyone have such long legs? This is when you start to notice something. The silverback, that big, intimidating guy with the silver fur down his back, yeah, he's watching you. Not in a warm, fatherly way, more like a "I'm tolerating your existence" kind of way. You try to play near him once, climbing on his massive back like the other juveniles do. He lets you for about 30 seconds before grunting and shaking you off. You tumble into the grass. Okay, message received. You're on thin ice, buddy. The next few years are actually pretty fun. You've entered the juvenile phase, and life is basically one big playground. You wrestle with other young gorillas, climb trees that are way too tall for your skill level, and generally cause chaos. The adults mostly ignore you. Unless you get too rowdy, then someone, usually your mom, grabs you by the scruff and settles you down. You're learning the social rules now, and boy, are there a lot of them. Don't stare at the silverback. Don't take food from higher-ranking females. Don't scream unless something's actually wrong. Don't wander too far from the group. The list goes on, and honestly, it's exhausting trying to remember all this, but you're figuring it out, mostly through trial and error. And by error, we mean getting smacked upside the head by an annoyed adult. One day, you're playing a bit too rough with another juvenile, and suddenly the silverback charges over. You freeze, every muscle in your body locked in terror. He looms over you, his massive frame blocking out the sun, and lets out a roar that rattles your bones. Then he just walks away. You stand there shaking, wondering what you did wrong. Turns out nothing. He was just reminding you who's boss. Cool, totally not traumatizing at all. As you hit adolescence, around age 6, things start to get complicated. You're bigger now, maybe 150 pounds, and suddenly you're not cute anymore. The silverback, who barely noticed you before, is starting to see you differently. You're not a baby, you're a potential rival, and that's a problem. The other males your age are going through the same thing, and you've started to form a sort of brotherhood. You all know what's coming. You're all going to have to leave the troop eventually, either by choice or by force. The silverback doesn't tolerate adult males in his group, well, except himself, obviously. So you've got a few years, maybe, to figure out your next move. The tension builds slowly at first. The silverback watches you more closely now. When you eat, he makes sure you know you're eating last. When you try to rest near the group's center, he gives you a look that sends you to the edges. You're being pushed out bit by bit, and there's nothing you can do about it. One morning, you wake up and decide you've had enough of this treatment. You're almost 8 years old now, and you're tired of being treated as a threat. You didn't even do anything wrong. You just exist, and apparently that's a crime. So you make a choice. You leave. Walking away from the only family you've ever known is harder than you thought. You keep looking back, hoping maybe someone will follow. Your mom doesn't even glance your way. She's already got another infant to care about, and you're yesterday's news. You're on your own now, buddy. Welcome to the bachelor life. And let me tell you, the bachelor life sucks. You're alone for the first time ever. No troop to protect you. No group foraging to make finding food easier. No social grooming to remove parasites. It's just you, the forest, and your growing sense of existential dread. You try to find other bachelor males to hang out with, and you do eventually. A small group of young males all in the same boat as you. It's better than being alone, but not by much. You all compete for food and space, and there's this constant undercurrent of tension because you're all trying to prove something. The next few years are rough. You're in your prime physically, strong and capable, but you've got no troop to lead, no territory to call your own. You wander through the mountains looking for opportunities. Maybe you'll find a lone female, or maybe you'll challenge an aging silverback for his troop. But every silverback you encounter is either too strong or too well protected by his group. You try to challenge one once, a silverback that looks old and slow. You beat your chest, put on your most intimidating display, and charge in, feeling confident. This is it. This is your moment. And then he absolutely destroys you. Turns out he wasn't that old, and you definitely weren't that strong. You retreat, battered and bruised, your ego even more damaged than your body. That was humiliating. More years pass. You're about 12 now, and finally you've managed to attract a couple of females. They left their birth troops looking for something better, and apparently you're it. It's not much, but it's a start. You've got the beginnings of a troop now, which means you've got something to protect. And protect it you must, because other males are always lurking, looking for opportunities to steal your females, or worse, hurt your offspring. Oh yeah, you've got babies now. Congratulations, you're a father. And with that comes a whole new level of stress. Every day is a battle, not necessarily a physical one, but a mental one. You need to keep your troop together, find enough food to keep everyone fed, protect them from predators and other gorillas, and maintain your position as the dominant male. It's exhausting. You're constantly on edge, constantly watching, constantly proving yourself. Your back has started to turn silver now. That distinctive saddle of silver hair that marks you as a mature male, a true silverback. You finally made it. You're the boss, the leader, the one in charge. And honestly, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Sure, you get first dibs on food and you get to decide where the troop goes, but you also get all the responsibility. Every problem is your problem. A leopard nearby? Your problem. A rival male showing up? Somehow also your problem. It's like being a stressed out middle manager, except your office is a rainforest and your coworkers can literally rip your arms off if they get mad enough. The years roll by and your troop grows. You've got multiple females now and several offspring at various ages. You should feel proud, and you do, sort of, but mostly you're just tired. The constant vigilance wears on you, and you're not getting any older. You're about 18 now, and you've started to notice things. Your body doesn't move quite as fast as it used to. That shoulder injury from that fight years ago, it aches when it rains. You're still strong, probably the strongest thing in this forest, but you can feel time creeping up on you. The younger males in your troop, the ones approaching adolescence, they're watching you differently now, testing boundaries, seeing if you'll react. It's the same thing you did years ago when you were young and stupid. The circle of life or whatever. Except this time you're on the other side of it, and it sucks. One of your sons, a cocky 8-year-old, starts challenging your authority in small ways, taking food before you've eaten, sitting in your favorite resting spot. You tolerate it at first because he's your son, but eventually enough is enough. You charge at him, roaring and beating your chest. He backs down immediately, but you see it in his eyes. He'll try again, and one day, maybe, he'll win. That day comes sooner than you'd like. You're 22 now, old for a wild gorilla, and a young male, not your son this time, but an outsider, challenges you for your troop. You know you should fight. You should defend what's yours, but you're tired. So tired. The fight is brutal. He's younger, faster, and hungry for what you have. You give it everything you've got. Decades of experience and raw determination, but it's not enough. He drives you off your troop, and there's nothing you can do about it. You retreat into the forests alone again, just like when you were young,
Except this time, there's no hope of starting over. You're too old, too beaten down. You wander for days, maybe weeks, barely eating, just existing. Most silverbacks don't die peacefully. They die like this, alone, defeated, slowly fading away from injuries or starvation or just plain exhaustion. The forest takes them back, quietly, unceremoniously. As you lie in the underbrush, too weak to move anymore, you think about your life. The struggles, the battles, the brief moments of triumph. Was it worth it? Hard to say. You passed on your genes, you protected your troop for a while, you were king of your little corner of the forest. But mostly, it just sucked.